Hello there. My name is Mungai.
And I'm Kennedy. Or Ken GK or Big Man GK. Tataka.
Yeah, so this is a millennial Gen Z conversation.
without discussion, you know who's the millennial. Gen Z hatujiteteangi.
Yeah, so nini kuna hiyo show nani anadai kupiga anaitwaje, this amazing comedian of ours Taingashira.
Oh yeah,
Millennial in denial.
Yeah, but then millennials in denial though. Ni wengi. In fact, in the creative industry, kuna watu wako 40s, late 30s, early 40s, and maybe 50s. They're still living a Gen Z life. May feel like that. So, where personally are you a millennial in denial?
I think there's that denial whether I like it or not. Because you're so used to being the young person in the room, and then all of a sudden, unakuta nini, everyone is becoming younger, and it seems like everyone is looking up to you for wisdom.
So like, okay, I was looking at kuna mtoto fulani well known in the country, akona mtoi. So kwa hivi anasema, wow, my kid asks me what do we do? Yani yeye hajazoea, like yeye amezoea tu tufanye aje? Yani amezoea kuuliza ama kuulizana. Unajua kama Mbogi kama ninaweza kuuliza Mungai, what do we do about ABCD? We discuss. But you know this a place where now you are the thinker, the decision maker, you're everything. So there not to come nje najua hajazoea. But just saying this, millennials, the people who haven't accepted the fact. Jumi nakanga hivi najiuliza, yani itafika mahali muda uzazi.
Itafika mahali wewe ndo mzee kwa wewe.
Mimi ndo mzazi. Ati mimi ndo na ground na mkataza mtu hii anything. Because mimi nakanga hivi I'm like
you're too nice kukazia mtu maisha.
Ati soma guy not me never gonna happen. But if the day comes ile mola amepanga.
Me I don't think hata ati kuna hiyo ya when that day comes. I feel like
ishafika.
I feel like every day that day is here. Like
ishafika.
Already having those conversations na mzazi za nini, nakumbuka there's a day nilikuwa na bonga na mzazi, my mom, and then she'd like nikamwambia so me when I get married this is my plan ABCD for how I'm going to finance this kid's education. Then
Kid ama kids?
Kids.
Okay.
And then she's like, watoto wanakuja lini? And it was like 12:30 midnight. I just told my mom, I think ni usingizi na kusumbua. That must be sleep disturbing you. Just get some rest.
Just pack yourself.
And I told her good night. And
in short, mama nakwambia, ni lini utashiriki katika mchezo wa ngono? When will you play the sweet natural game? You don't know. Me kuna kitu ingine pia nasemanga on that note. A kid is not something easy to raise in this generation.
Something?
Not someone very easy to bring up. You may feel like you have less than 3 years to raise a kid.
I think
when was kuna ilifika mahali in your life uliacha ku look up, okay, not you maybe, most people stop looking up to their parents, now start looking for mentors and peers in the outside world. Because ukiwa mtu hii ukishikwa na mom, alafu mama akupe kwa until you cry, that then mom and dad everything. But nafika mahali you want to see I want to be like I want to be like Cristiano. Yeah, I want to be like Cristiano. I want to be like whoever. And also another thing, I feel like the decision I make affects only my life, but the decision I make then also affects their life. Nikiamua, I'll stop earning for 1 year to go and train myself on a certain skill. See me peke it affects. For example, they have to put food on the table, a roof over their head, and education on their brain. So yeah, that's an aspect that I feel about parenting.
So you know the fact that Sol brags about being in the industry for over 20 years. Do you know that the other bit about that is that is that they're also, it's also hitting kina Biembe, we are not children anymore.
What?
Because back then when they were started, they were just kids.
Just kids, high school
Making
kids.
music.
Yeah.
And
Having
then,
fun, living life.
then all of a sudden you have to be responsible. All of a sudden it matters. It matters like what you do today. It reflects and translates into your tomorrow.
And another thing, people look up to you.
Like I think there was that aspect of being looked up to
Mhm.
for a long time in their heads, and in everybody's head, in the sense that you're a celebrity. I mean, what's the least they can do? That's the least they can do. They should look up to you. But now there's we are at a point where it doesn't matter whether you're a celeb or not. It's a matter of these decisions you make are not just yours. There's someone who's like following eagerly to emulate.
There's somebody who's idolizing you.
Yeah. Like when you go to Kibera, that thing that Abel has been sharing about being raised in the slums and those kids having bad mentors in terms of the people mentoring them are gangsters, they are thieves. And you see a kid who's barely 15, they want to hold a gun and shoot somebody else. And you're just wondering how this violence got to this kid because you, as a kid, never even thought of hurting anyone. Like, you might have fought, but you never had intentions of walking away, leaving a dead body. And now this kid thinks that he's living up to the standard when they had to kill someone.
It's true. I was doing some research. Do you know why they, if I say AS, my now mention AS, these people who dominate in the border, in the western side of our country, not western, eastern, AS. So, do you know why they recruit babies, my kids? Because ukiwa mtoi, your head, like, what you're taught ukiwa mtoto is now what is right to you. You can't convince me otherwise. Like, I feel like why most people ni ngumu waachane na Mungu ni ikiwa mtoto alikuwa instilled na mamake na babake. The world was created by God. The first man and woman was Adam and Eve from Sunday school, reciting Bible verses. So tukifika hadi history tunafunzwa mambo ya animal and what. What do you mean? We came from an ape. What do you mean? Hii geography ilikuwa inaitwaje? Hii cloud.
Cloud.
Yeah, see, in geography there's a
theory. That thing, Big Bang Theory.
Something like that. So I feel like if we were taught that concept when we were kids, we will believe it and it will be hard to move it in our heads. So I feel like ukishafika a certain age, you can no longer convince me otherwise. That's why they time our young babies. Sasa kawe Mungai, a good poet in him. Let's say there's 3 or 5 kids looking up to you. You do poetry and then you decide to put a tattoo. Kids will see tattoo is awesome. Mom nataka tattoo kaya Mungai. Mama, you write, let's say you write just Mungai's poetry or something, or you write a piece. They'll feel like that is awesomeness. And I feel like our generation is not ready to let go of some things that might mislead an alpha or an upcoming generation. Kupati lazima tupati. Okay, not you, but most people. Kupati lazima tupati. To decorate our bodies how we want, we must be. That's why you say our dress, our choice. But I feel we should do all this knowing we are the upcoming leaders. It's, me and you go Prishanga sometimes. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, so I think there's that fear of just growing up, or like the food has always been given to you. Now it's your turn to provide, and there's that feeling of mzazi amekuachilia, cause at that point nobody ever trained you how to do that, and all of a sudden they expect you to do that for yourself and others.
Me, I like nasema, it looks awkward. Okay, in high school kuna kaziwa must know the exam. You're not waking up at this time. Wake up. Even if exam is 5 p.m., I'm at 6 uniform class. And my first period in campus, during exam period, no one cares if you're studying, what you're doing, when you're doing it. Nobody cares. That's the day I felt like, guy.
Yeah,
now
is pushing you.
Yeah, I'm now running my life. The decision I make now influences tomorrow.
And it hits hard.
Bude kitu inaniumbanga. I'm like, wow.
You see that thing you just mentioned? The reason I wrote ile piece niliperform kwa podcast yenu ile hiyo verse yenye inasemanga, the first of the English one, one that said Jesus is the same yesterday, today and forever. I try to call him and let him know I'm different. Growing up is tougher than what I wanted it to be. I was used to school tests because when I'm sick, naondokea. But life test come and there is no more right.
Man.
Now you get the depth of that.
Yeah, now I get it. I now get it. It makes a lot of sense. And then the fact that nobody cares.
So it continues and it says, life test come and there is no more running. You live knowing you'll never get away from the games children play. You live knowing you'll never get away from the games children play. And then there's another line that says something about no matter how young you are, there is always a card for you to play. I was just feeling, by then I was around almost 25, and I was feeling like when I was writing that piece, and I was feeling like
25 and your life will take longer.
Almost not 25. I was feeling like I'm young. Why do I have to make this decision? Why are they asking me? Like, me, I should be consulting dad. Why is it?
Alafu unaambia mzee alafu nakuhit na ile kitu siweni mkubwa.
Man, but every time they say that, hey man, I just feel like shrinking to a corner and feel abandoned. No.
Okay.
Nini, like, I just feel abandoned. I feel like I don't know how I got here. I admire the life my parents have. They disgust the life they have. They feel like I should do better. I'm like, what's better than the life you're already living? You know, my dad had built our house by the time he was 30.
By the time
he was 30,
guy,
dude had a house over his family.
And he had time. How old was the last born when he was building his house?
Last born.
The last born when at that time.
It was me then, it was my brother.
So it was you or your brother?
Yeah, my brother 4 years later.
4 years. He was 4 years younger than me.
My dad got us when he was 30. Then by the time I was turning 4 and he was turning 34, we were living in our own home. Not related.
So imagine catering for.
And then my brother now, me and my twin sister. And my brother now was still on the way. But now we've moved to this house where my dad is not paying rent anymore.
Now imagine.
It was a bedroom house? It was my sister's bedroom, the sitting room, the veranda was not there, right? The veranda was not there, so it was like a small house. Remember, we even had thugs steal from us when we just moved to that place. We didn't have dogs back then, so they came stole from us and then they locked us from outside. So my sister was scared to go outside, so I was meant to go outside through the window, and then I was the one who went and opened the door. Hey, my sister was like, no, we were babies. My sister could have fitted easily, just that she was scared. She was like, wezi wako huko nje.
So you decided to be the man.
So I was the man. I was like,
hey, lakini your dad is a legend. That cater for young kids, I feel like it's very expensive.
Yes, it is. And you can imagine he catered for us. Like, yeah. So for me, I was like, these guys didn't have the education we have, and they figured out how to make money, and they multiplied their income to the point where they are right now. And I feel like the least they could have done is taught us how they make money that hard way, and we learn to make that money like that. But then, from the education we have, we now add other avenues to monetize the education we have, so that AI or not, we can still survive. Because these guys are providing for us. They've provided for us. They still provide. They continue to provide. Yeah.
What I feel,
I'm, I'm not saying like everyone is relying on them at home. It's just that they figured out something. There's something they know that we don't know.
okay, vile tufunza sahi, our parents teach us, this money is not easy to make. This is how I make. No, this is what I go through to make it. But I feel like they should teach us, how do you make it? Because
apart from the employed parents, I don't understand like teachers, those careers. But these self-employed parents like mine, me, I'd like to know how they make money.
And then
I'd like to make money the way they do, and then I'll diversify.
But I feel like their system of education is what made them their system of education.
You know, from what I hear them talking about, is like they were educating us so that we go get jobs. And me, I've never been interested in getting employment.
Being employed.
Yeah, I don't. I've always been intrigued with the thing of self-employment, having the full power in my hands to go the mile of making sure that I'm meeting all my needs without having to feel like there's somebody who's gonna wake up on the bad side of the bed, or maybe AI is doing what I used to do for them and fire me, and then I'm no longer relevant to them.
I was looking at also. So I tell you that I want to make films, my own films. So I was looking at for you to make your own films, you have to have a crew, a lot of things, documents, finance the film, how you market it, distribute it to the people, how it gives you back, how it returns and profit and all that. So in short, that means you're an entrepreneur. So I was telling my mom, I mean, I was ready to be a filmmaker or entrepreneur. Like,
that's what you signed up for. You signed up for the creative part of our
Exactly,
job, not
but-
the money part of our job. Yeah. But you see, one of the main reasons that it's hard for us to transition from creative to the money maker that we need to be, because at the end of the day, we need to make enough revenue to sustain us and those around us that we are collaborating with. One of the things that we could have done is we could have learned how to monetize things from the young age, so that you no longer feel a pinch when you charge somebody for something, because for you it looks easy, but at the same time it's a whole investment you've put in, and you need to make return on investment, and you need also to earn from the fact that you're the skilled laborer here, and if they could do it themselves they wouldn't have called you.
Exactly, because your part, the last part, if you could have done it, you couldn't have called me. Tell me why. People will call you to do for them a shoot, photography or something, and charge you like, what will you cheap it? Because I have a special skill that you or anybody else doesn't have. So I know the worth of the skill. It's the first thing. Another thing, I hate it when people watch a multi-million worth project for free or for 30 shillings, because you don't pesa ban or for free. Like, I feel bad. One guy, you invested in this movie, then I pirate it. Let's say I distribute it to 1 million people and they watch it for free. I have poked a very big hole in my pocket. So you have made a multi-million project for me to consume it for free. That's another thing I don't like. And I feel like we should build a system where it is fair for everyone. We also don't charge a lot to our consumers. And also our consumers don't give us less for what we have made for them. Because movies are therapeutic. They pass time. They even give you a connection. Let's say which is your favorite movie
My favorite movie right now.
or series?
Uh, series. Series. It is Kengan Ashura. I like that animation. For movies, it is Bullet Train.
Bullet Train. Let's take Bullet Train.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you meet a girl who loves Bullet Train, and acknowledgement starts there. There's some things you'll click with her just because of a movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
You want to tell me that you'll say that this movie is useless and can't even pay a single cent to the person who thought of it?
I think that I understand your pain point, but I also think that it's important that whoever is selling understands the African market. Because one thing I keep on learning online is that everyone else has a plan of how to sell whatever they are selling, be it AI or those technology things, or be it this thing literature, or be it movies themselves, music. However, they're being packaged for people abroad. But we are in Kenya. And the fact that we are in Kenya, you need to package it with Africa in mind. You need to understand that in Africa, you're going to get more buyers buying at a cheaper price than those who are capable of buying at the whole price which you want to sell abroad. Like, for example, for someone selling $5.99 an all mini a film online, someone abroad can easily purchase it because first of all they can't upgrade it the way we can pirated wise. But for me who is here in Africa, in Kenya, the only way I can maybe interfere with the piracy a little bit is I can figure out a way of how much are these people buying the films for. They're buying it for 30 shillings. That could be like 0.03 dollars or something like that. You see? Or $0.3 itself. Yeah. Cents. Basically 30 cents. Yeah. So I can decide to bridge the gap between me and my buyers. I decide to sell the movies online at maybe that same price. Because the buyers are more. So yes, I'm not selling it the way I will sell it in America for the same expensive price, but I'm selling it in Africa. And at the end of the day, I'm selling. So at the end of the day, it is penetrating. Yes, it is penetrating a whole market. Abel Mtua has a way of him being able to sell his films at 250 shillings. But that is because he's only selling us one film in a year. But for Hollywood and other places, they're not selling us one movie in a year. They're selling us many movies. And the people that have really come close to bridging that gap of how to sell their films and make revenue from it is Netflix. Because Netflix has been able to come down to a level and decided that, okay, if you're going to pay 200 shillings a month, then you're going to get 480p. But do you know that that quality is so high even in our African phones? Because for it is really good quality. Me, I pay the 300 shilling package and I watch the HD package. The 4K has been reserved to people who are willing to spend many over 500 shillings, that's 700 shillings a month. I'm not willing, I'm able, but I'm not willing to spend that because that would be above my budget.
I'm willing, but no, I'm able, but I'm not willing.
So, like, at the end of the day, they've understood that they can't come with their hefty prices in Kenya and expect to sell their films the same way. Like I feel like the other people who can come down to our prices will be Amazon Prime. I like their films, but they are so expensive.
For Amazon,
Cheapest 560 shillings. That will be 579 shillings if you pay with the M-Pesa Global card. So you find that that's too expensive even for me. On a monthly basis. But if they were even giving me the 300 shilling or the 200 shilling package, because I am already paying for Netflix, I decide to downgrade both and have both at 200 so that I'm saving on cost and at the same time I'm able to watch a variety. So Nini, that understanding your market is really important. Understanding that in Africa you're not gonna sell at a high price and sell to many people, but if you sell at a low price, you're gonna sell to everyone. Not like the numbers only have the potential to grow. If you do proper marketing here, the only thing your numbers can do is grow. The only thing you can do is make more money. And most of the films, obviously, you're selling as are old films because we are in a continent where we don't like movies. You guys feel like are old school from 1970s and 80s are gems to us. We've never watched them. I wanna watch it. I want to watch the first version of Doctor Strange that was produced in 1978. I want to watch it in the best quality possible. And if you can bridge that gap and bring it down to my level, then we are on to something. We're doing business.
Yeah, it's true.
So at the end of the day, if they don't come down to our level and sell to us at prices we can afford, I feel like they'll keep on missing out on the money that they could have made if they understood that we have a bigger population able to buy at a lower price.
But sometimes I feel
even for our own film,
I feel bad and I see an African video sharing company selling or giving us a very heavy package, expensive package than an international, which is Netflix. Because Netflix is international. I don't say the name of the video sharing company, but there's a video sharing company that will charge. See, Netflix that charges 300. Let's say they charge maybe the same 300, but they will they'll suppress you. You can't watch it in this gadget. You can't watch it in this gadget. Personally, I don't like it because I want to consume a lot of
content,
our culture
at the same time,
our own content than abroad. But the abroad content is becoming more affordable. I feel so bad.
They are starting to, for them, they are starting to understand how our African market works better than the people who are already in Africa.
Our own people, I feel so bad.
But it's because everyone wants to feel like they are selling something expensive. But they also don't understand the aspect of you're selling it expensively and losing out on the bigger population.
Exactly.
It's like the matatus in South Sea. Like matatus in South Sea preferably charge 50 shillings to Tao or sometimes up to 70 shillings. But they're losing out on the population of people that walk up to Total Energy South Sea just so that they can take many buses and other matatus
from other places.
From other places that are passing along Mombasa Road for 30 shillings or 20 shillings up to town and other locations that they live at. So the matatu circles in South Sea miss out on the majority of the people that move from everywhere else coming to do mijengos in South Sea just because they can't lower their prices to an affordable rate. Just because they feel like they need to sell the transport service at a higher price just because the people they imagine are the majority they're selling to are the people that live in South Sea, which is not really the case.
Exactly. I feel like the only transport company that has cracked the Kenyan market, the Nairobi transport market is Metro. And that's why they are on high demand and people on their necks and all that. But yeah.
But
please understand.
For them, it's a matter of understanding. First of all, we don't wish to get bad service from the conductor. We don't want someone to talk trash to us, and we also don't want to be overcharged because their prices remain constant. Like they don't switch you up on prices like other buses.
And if they do that, they'll give you a reason.
Yeah, there's always like that legit reason to understand why I'm paying, how much I'm paying.
So to go to my home, it's 100 shillings, but there's a time they hike it to 120, 130. They'll tell you that extra 30 or 20 will be asking you is we want to use the express highway to go to your home and come back using the same express highway because it's rush hour. You don't want to waste time in the traffic. So they ask you, just give us that 30 bob. So that
for convenience.
Exactly. And you'll get home
quicker
than you would if we who also stuck on traffic. So I feel like they understand and they pass the message very well.
They're really competing favorably with the Ubers and cabs, because basically that's what I will be going for when I'm taking an Uber or any other online cab to from one location to the other. I'm basically paying for extra for convenience. And if I'm paying an extra of 20-30 shillings for convenience, that's fair to me.
Exactly. Because we all in the same economy. Help a brother to help a brother. Because I need the service of transport, you need my service for maybe movie making, filmmaking or something. Yeah, but Mungai, you're generally a millennial. Because you're the one who has talked good points here, the Gen Z. But the bridge between millennial and Gen Z, I feel like it can't be gapped if millennials just sit down and listen to Gen Zs. Because I feel like we have been run by millennials. Okay, have we been run by millennials or baby boomers?
Baby boomers, the ones in their 30s and 40s before millennials came in.
So where does millennial start?
1996
to
2000. Millennial is 1980 to 1930.
1980 to
96.
80 to 96.
80 to 96, yeah.
So from 97 to 2010, Gen Z.
2012.
12. So you see that bracket of Gen Z, I feel like, even 80 to 90. See, Sana, let me bracket from 1990 to 2015. I feel like if you sit down with people in that bracket, they'll give you something that you don't have. I know you're wiser, but there's something you will do with my information better than what I will do with it. Let's say, for example, I have information about a certain market, wanataka a certain product. Yes, I have the information, but I'm not wise enough to make the best out of that information. If I come and share with you as somebody who's more wiser and has more experience than me, there's something you'll do something better than I will. You get? So I feel like we should sit down, listen to us, and with your wisdom and experience in life, with that information that you've given, you'll do something better for our country. Because I feel like it has reached a place. Our country is just a graph that is rising half and dropping at an alarming rate. And I feel like it is now. Sisi tumekaa hivi chini, tunaona, tunasikia, tunaona kaeni chini na sisi mtusikize. It is time to build a nation with the leaders of today and tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, leaders of tomorrow. I feel like whatever is happening in that bracket of leaders of tomorrow, so sad to say, but I feel like it's just most of it has been mentorship of the same old ill ways. They're not passing the good values. In fact, it's like they're making people pay painfully for having the right values.
Thank you. It is so true. Like you're a good person. You suffer in this industry. You have to be. Me, in fact, if somebody tells me for you to survive in film industry, fuck what? Okay, I know you have to be tough, but if you give me the negative, I feel like, is this really an industry that I'll want somebody that, let's say my child, I want my child to thrive in such, because tunajua everything that happens in the dark comes up to light one day. So let's just put things in the good. I like how our generations, from millennium to now Gen Z and maybe Gen Alpha, we have breached this thing of tribalism. In a way, we have breached it. I feel like tribalism is one of the factors that has brought this nation to crumble. But we are slowly healing from it. But another thing that is making us to crumble even more is misinformation and lies. Misinformation, lies, and illiteracy. You were telling me with the education your dad has, he has built something good. With the education we have, there is something. Mungai, I can't lie to you. This is original flour. I just can't lie to you directly. You're very literate for me to lie to you something. So I feel like also illiteracy is eating our country, and when we try to bring education and reasoning, because si kila kitu ni facts and reasoning, you call it reasoner, you call all sort of names. So
like people don't want to be held accountable.
Exactly. So I feel like if we just move certain small aspects that are making us to crumble, we'll be the second Singapore.
You know, I was just learning the other day that our our lending systems have been adopted from the British. And the mistake is that Britain is an advanced country than we are. So if they put the same weight of paying the loans and everything else on us, it kills the economy instead of bringing it up. They should have, yes, learned from it and then adopted a way that now works in Africa.
Now that's where literacy comes in. We sit down with our brains, with what we have. We strategize with what we have to get to where we want to be. Yeah. Unajua, okay, I don't want to say this, but I feel like sometimes our brains are still in colonization. Sometimes, not all the time. But tunajaribu. Yeah, I hope millennials, because also I feel millennials are now the upcoming leaders. Gen Zs we still call ourselves leaders of tomorrow. I feel like we are coming to a point where tuna bridge these gaps. I have faith one day we'll be up with you. We are somewhere, but we're not there. Yeah. Ama you as a millennial with your experience and wisdom, you feel different.
I guess we're just hoping, and the most you can do is just work harder, because I feel the only thing that is rewarding in this now and here is the amount of work you put in to show that you can actually offer value. Because as long as there's value to be for you to give, then there's someone who's willing to buy the value. I learned that in campus when I was selling earphones, that as long as you're not selling, someone else is selling and you're buying. And I've always, one thing that's taught me is that I want to always be on the selling side more than spend my whole time on the buying side. Because every time you're buying, someone is getting richer, but every time you're selling, you are getting richer.
So you can make your own camera company.
Yeah, but that could be the works, but at the moment,
Munga come, huh? Munga come is coming. Munga come, huh?
At the moment, I think what I can think about in terms when I say so is uh, what exactly am I really good at, and what can I really give the community, and then how can I now monetize from the community.
Okay, it's very true. And I also feel like there's a certain system in the Indian community where if let's say you're a Patel, you should do business in books and education. If you're called let's say Kushin, I'm not sure. Kushin will major in Kushin, the family of Kushin, the name Kushin will major in machineries. If you're called, let me give another name. Let's say Ken is an Indian name. The family of Ken will major in now
Medicine.
Yeah, medicine. Family of whoever will major in
Media.
now. Yeah. Sorry. So I love that in the Indian community. Ni sasa ni kama ni tuinue ni kuinue. Yeah, you give me this, I give you this. Yeah. And it was adopted from barter trade, but yes, it was converted into now. Yeah, person into the trade between food and money. Yeah, that trade. They didn't change the system in barter trade. They just changed the way they
The medium of trade.
the medium of trade.
Yeah.
But they still kept that community. So I feel like also community is a very strong aspect. Vile umesema, you need a community to consume your film. They also need a community for somebody to consume the vegetables. You must eat. They also need another community for children to come and learn. They also need a community to come in case they are sick. So also let's build more building. It becomes a circle of life.
I think my parting shot from this recording is that one thing I learned recently is that for you to become a lawyer abroad, and specifically the UK, you have to have a degree
from the UK.
Yeah, not a degree from the UK, a degree
in general.
Yeah. Okay. So law is what you do after you have your own degree.
Oh, I get you.
I've studied to be a journalist. Okay, now I'm gonna do law. Like they just don't allow you to study law directly from high school.
For real?
Yeah.
And that's dope. So
that by the time you're defending someone in court, you really understand the whole hassle of what they're going through, not just the law side of what they're going through.
Whoever came up with that thing, genius. Yeah.
So when I see lawyers feeling proud for being lawyers,
you haven't been to UK.
Yeah, you haven't been exposed well enough to understand some of the things that you really need out here that the current government cannot really offer you. What's your parting shot so that government?
What I'd say, because I'm starting by saying I'll just tell you, everybody has an information that can build you and destroy you. You also have something in you that can build your neighbor and destroy you. So what do? Let's share this information. And if you become a sharing information nation, I am telling you, we will build this nation brick by brick, regardless of who or how we are led. Yeah. So this is Munga Solid.
I don't know. We'll figure out the name. Thank you for watching. My name is Mungai Dennis.
And I'm Big Man GK.